Hello, and welcome to day 20 of Business English 1. In our last class, I mentioned to you about this video from James Veitch, and this is actually a recording of his appearance on Conan, the late-night talk show host show, kind of a comedy talk show host. And he starts off talking here about how he got into some trouble with his roommates and how he was a terrible roommate. And he says, I got into quite a bit of trouble. Quite a bit means a lot, a good amount. Quite a bit of trouble recently with my flatmates. In the UK, he's British, so in the UK, a flat is what we would call an apartment in American English. They call them flats, we call them apartments. And you can see here, with him in the picture here, he has some little rubber ducks, like a child would use in the bathtub, or you might see at some sort of carnival game or something. So let's watch here and see how terrible of a roommate James Veitch actually is. See what he does.
Hey guys, I got into quite a bit of trouble recently with my flatmates. You call them flatmates here? Do you call them roommates, right? Yeah. Okay. So I got in trouble with well, she messaged me and she said, James, would you mind taking your clothes that are drying in the bathroom and moving them into your bedroom? Take your clothes that are drying in the bathroom, move them to your bedroom because my mum's coming over. She hasn't met you before. She hasn't seen the place we live before. I want to make a good impression.
Okay. So the one of the flatmates asks him to take his clothes out of the bathroom. He had some clothes in there drying, and she asked him to take those out because she wanted the apartment to look nice because her mom was coming to visit, and she wanted to make a good impression. She wanted her mom to think, oh, this is a nice place, everything looks nice, clean. So he said, okay, sure.
So I did that. I took all my clothes that are drying in the bathroom, I put them in my bedroom, and they were still a bit wet as well, so hero. But then it transpires, guys, all you need is like, what is that, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bags of flour.
So you need about 6 bags of flour. Flour is actually ground wheat. You might call it like powder. In Korean, it would be milgaru. Okay. It's the powder that you get from grinding wheat. And so this is what you'd use for baking, for making cookies or bread or cakes.
And like an afternoon and a little bit of creativity, and you can pretty much make yourself like a full-on kind of drugs, I would say.
So he took the flour, he put it into some plastic bags.
Sort of in the house, and then obviously you don't want to just you have to obviously be a little bit creative, and then I found
So he has a mirror here and a credit card and a dollar bill. You'll often see that in movies where people are using those things to snort, to inhale cocaine.
And then obviously
and then of course he has the scale here to measure it, to weigh it.
It was a bit subtle. So then what I did is I had like obviously a tip book, like people owe me money, for drugs, that I sold them, and then that was. I mean, I'll be honest, you have already enjoyed that far more than she did.
So because his roommate's mom was coming, he wanted to play sort of a joke. So he made it look like he was a drug dealer, dealing drugs out of the apartment. And he says, you folks, the audience, you've already enjoyed this way more than she did. Because his roommate did not think this was funny.
Obviously a tip book, like people owe me money, for drugs, that I sold them. And then that was, I mean, I'll be honest, you have already enjoyed that far more than she did. But the thing is that I don't know where the line, I don't know where to like stop. You know what I mean?
So he says, I don't know where to like draw the line. I don't know where to stop. So he doesn't know when a joke has gone too far. He doesn't really have the self-control, I guess, to stop himself.
Basically, that was just a precursor to what happened next, which was when I first moved in there for like shared accommodation. They had a big meeting with all the housemates, and
so they had a meeting with all of the housemates. So apparently there were several people sharing this house.
Sat around and they told me all the rules and stuff. And then they said, look, James, we've got these little boxes that we got from IKEA that we keep.
So we have these little boxes we got from IKEA. They keep in the bathroom for toiletries. Okay. Toiletries, those are things you use in the bathroom, basically. Razor, lotion, toothbrush, toothpaste, deodorant, soap, shampoo, makeup, all of those things really would be considered toiletries.
They had a big meeting with all the housemates, and we sat around and they told me all the rules and stuff. And then they said, look, James, we've got these little boxes that we got from IKEA that we keep our toiletries in, and we've cleared one out for you. And I was like, hooray. But I don't have any toiletries, so what I ended up doing was just basically, I just filled mine with basically as many as I could.
So he says, I don't really have any toiletries, so he just filled his with these little rubber ducks.
And we cleared one out for you, and I was like, hooray. But I don't have any toiletries, so what I ended up doing was just basically, I just filled mine with basically as many as I could. Because I thought that was very funny. And then the problem is, every time I went in there, I would start to kind of like rearrange them. Do you know what I mean? I was having a great time. And then this genuinely happened. And then one day I got like narrative. I got more like a chase scene was kind of.
So I got a narrative, like a chase scene, like in a movie or something. A story is a narrative.
Happened. And then after like 4 to 5 months, they started to develop their own kind of, religion based around the kind of different kind of aspects of the kind of, And then honestly, it was beautiful. They had a wedding. That was such a beautiful day. We were so lucky with the weather. Everyone looked amazing. It was really beautiful. And then Halloween.
So now they look like little ghosts.
Probably 6 to 8 months down the line, they genuinely started to get very sophisticated. They started to develop their own kind of culture, like entertainment. They started to make their own kind of movies. They had a few blockbusters. This was beautiful. It was on. Do you know what I mean? It was a lovely moment. It was. Oh, there's more.
So the scene from Titanic with Rose and Jack, My Heart Will Go On.
Their own kind of movies. They had a few blockbusters. This was beautiful. It was on. Do you know what I mean? It was a lovely moment. It was. Oh, there's more. Wait. Try it. The problem is that I got more. I started to make it seem as if they were like generating from the drain, you know what I mean? And then the problem is, I don't know if you know this, guys, but if you go online, right? If you go online, you can get these like you can buy these wholesale from China.
So he made it look like they're being produced from the drain, that they're coming out of the drain. He ordered them wholesale from China. Wholesale is like what a store would buy them, not. If you go to the store and buy them, that's retail. But the store buys them from the producer, the manufacturer, that's wholesale. So he would buy like boxes of these things.
This genuinely happened. And then I had a lot of time. And what I did is I staged Nuremberg in the bath. This got me into significant trouble. This was not good. That was when I got the message, James, we need to talk about the duck. That's not a message anyone wants to get. Do you know what I mean? And I was like, the duck has always been denying the duck. I was just denying the duck, And she said, the bathroom duck. So I was like, the bathroom duck? She said, the duck's in the bathroom! I was like, oh, those ducks. What about them? She said, please stop. I was in a rush this morning, but I couldn't shower until I'd moved like 100 tiny ducks. I said, okay, sorry about that. From now on, no more tiny ducks.
So he says, she had to move all these tiny ducks. He says, sorry about that. From now on, no more tiny ducks. You have my word. You have my word, I promise. Now, notice what he says here. No more tiny ducks. That leaves him the option of having some larger ducks. So we call that a loophole. A loophole is kind of like an opening in a rule or a law that people or companies will try to use to avoid following what the law really means. But it's legal, but it's sort of cheating. It's a loophole.
I'll be honest, some of you have spotted that loophole far quicker than she.
So he says, I'll be honest, some of you have spotted that loophole far sooner than she did.
Tiny ducks. I said, okay, sorry about that. From now on, no more tiny ducks. I'll be honest, some of you have spotted that loophole far quicker than she. She did not see this coming. This hit like a ton of bricks. I was not, Huh?
So, there are no tiny ducks, but there are some large ducks.
She said, I'm away this weekend. By the time I get back, I want all ducks. I mean, to be fair to her, it was getting quite hard to move around the flat. There were a significant number of ducks. And I said, look, can I have one duck in the bathroom? And she said, one.
So he got permission to have one duck in the bathroom. Only one. So she says, you're insane. He says, quackers. Quackers means you're crazy, you're insane. If you are quackers, that is similar to the word crackers. If you're crackers, you're nuts, you're crazy, you're insane. Pronunciation is similar here. They rhyme. And of course, what sound do ducks make? They quack. So if you are quackers, you're crazy.
Thank you, everyone.
Fantastic. Fantastic. Thank you so much.
Okay, and so that is Conan O'Brien there with James Veitch. And so, is this really a demonstration? Not exactly, but kind of, it is. And obviously, with all of the ducks here, he has a commercial product. But it's just sort of demonstrating. I like this one because it's a story, but he's also explaining and showing and basically demonstrating how you could annoy your roommates, how you could be a terrible roommate. So this topic that you're doing doesn't have to be serious. It doesn't have to be useful even. It doesn't have to be... It can be fun, okay? You can do something serious if you want to, and that's great. But if you want to do something more, a little more creative or fun, that's okay too. All right. I have seen great presentations in the past on like how to rob a bank or how to kill zombies. So, be imaginative, be creative, and have fun with these, okay? All right. Remember, when you're doing this, you want a clear, simple message. Remember that what seems obvious to you could still be confusing to your audience. Remember, make your directions clear and specific. Introduce and explain any special terms or new vocabulary, especially any Korean expressions, but do not reverse translate. Okay, like we talked about. Don't say, "Oh, add a cup of mul," or I'm sorry, do not say, "Add a cup of water." Oh, that's mul in Korean. Okay, don't translate into Korean. But like Songbei did with the mandu, he explained, "Oh, mandu, this is a type of Korean dumpling." Okay. Remember that just because you know how to do something, that does not mean that your audience knows how to do it. What seems very simple to you may be very complicated to your audience. Okay, this is a topic that you have, that you already know, maybe, that you've learned about, that you've studied, you've practiced it, you've prepared. So to you, it's very easy, but your audience may be very unfamiliar with it. So it may be something new to them. For example, let's look at some situations here. This person writes, "I was running late." Running late, you're behind schedule. "I was running late, so I had asked my husband to peel half the potatoes and put them on to boil. Put them on the boil. Put them in a pot of water on the stove to start cooking. And I'd be home soon after to finish dinner." So she wanted him to start cooking some potatoes. They take a little time to cook, and then she would finish. "When I got home, this is what I saw." So he had peeled half of each potato. Now, is that what she wanted? Of course not. She did not want, how many potatoes are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There are 8 potatoes. Did she want 8 potatoes? Of course not. Well, no. Half of 8 potatoes is 4 potatoes. So she wanted him to peel 4 potatoes. But instead, half of the potatoes, but instead he peeled half of all 8 potatoes. Okay, so obviously she would not have been happy with that. Even if you say something very simple, like "hot dogs are delicious," your audience might think, "Oh, wow, yeah, I love hot dogs." Of course, this is a joke. But, a little dog in a hot dog bun. But I really don't like them like this. They're much better if you have some ketchup and mustard on there. Then they're delicious. Or if you say something simple like "hold the vegetables with your fingers and chop them," you might get something like this. Now, obviously, this is photoshopped, so don't get too upset. But the sentence here, "hold the vegetables with your fingers and chop them." What is them? The vegetables or your fingers? Or both? Well, in this case, in the picture, they chopped both. This is a pretty cool Photoshop, isn't it? Okay, so let me show you an example here of how something that seems very, very simple could be confusing or difficult to understand for other people.
All the leaves are brown, and the sky is gray. All the leaves are brown. I've been for a walk. All the leaves are brown. On a winter's day. All the leaves are brown. Stop. What are you doing? Are you supposed to you're just not getting it, are you? Listen, I sing a line and then you repeat it.
We did.
Right? Okay. All the leaves are brown. And the sky is gray.
Right.
I've been for a walk. I've been for a walk. On a winter's day. On a winter's day, all right? Come on.
All right.
That is it. One more time.
Better.
All the leaves are brown, and the sky is gray. And the sky is gray. I've been for a walk. On a winter's day. On a winter's day. Stop! What part of this don't you understand? I sing a line, you repeat it. Yes, but what was all of this then?
You did.
All right, fine. I was using a gesture for emphasis.
Okay, so notice there he says he was using a gesture for emphasis, to emphasize something, to stress his point. Okay, so they were actually copying that gesture, and that just kicked me out of my video, so let me try to go back there.
All the leaves are brown, and the sky is gray. All the leaves are brown. I've been for a walk. All the leaves are brown. On a winter's day. All the leaves are brown. Stop. What are you doing? Are you supposed to just follow my lead?
We didn't.
That is. Okay, look, I say all the leaves are brown. You say all the leaves are brown. And the sky is gray. And the sky is gray. All right, let's try it again.
Okay.
All the leaves are brown, and the sky is gray. And the sky is gray. I've been for a walk. And the sky is gray. On a winter's day. And the sky is gray. All right, you're just not getting it, are you? Listen, I sing a line and then you repeat it.
We did.
Right? Okay. All the leaves are brown, and the sky is gray.
Right.
I've been for a walk. I've been for a walk. On a winter's day. On a winter's day, all right? Come on.
All right.
That is it. One more time.
Better.
All the leaves are brown, and the sky is gray. And the sky is gray. I've been for a walk. On a winter's day. On a winter's day. Stop! What part of this don't you understand? I sing a line, you repeat it. Yes, but what was all of this then?
You did.
All right, fine. I was using a gesture for emphasis.
didn't-
Okay, all right, let's try this again. Hold on. All the leaves are brown, and the sky is gray. And the sky is gray. I've been for a walk, on a winter's day. On a winter's day. I'd be safe and warm. Leaves are brown. Just getting good. Good night.
So what he thought was very simple and clear to understand, of course, they did not. And they were confused. And so anyway, this is from a program called The Sketch Show. A sketch is like a short skit, like a short play. It'd be kind of like the concert gag shows in Korea. Except this would have like different celebrities and stuff on it, I believe. This was a British program. So, okay, let's move on now to our next section here. Are you guys familiar with PB&J? Do you know what PB&J is? Maybe you've had PB&J. PB&J looks like this. And PB&J is short for peanut butter and jelly sandwich. The PB&J is the P B, and J, peanut butter and jelly. Now, we say jelly, it could also be jam or even preserves, which preserves has like bigger pieces, bigger chunks of the fruit. And so I want to show you another video today. And this video is from this guy named Josh Darnett. And this family does something called the exact instructions challenge. So in the exact instructions challenge, what you do is he has his children write down step by step very specific instructions, directions for doing something. And then he follows those instructions. Okay? And this is a very simple sandwich. It's bread with peanut butter and jelly on it. So it's pretty simple. But his children have to write down the instructions for how to make this, and he follows those instructions very specifically. Okay, so let's see how this works with Josh Darnett and his two kids.
You're not making any sense. He's already ruined it on purpose. He knows how to make one.
What's up, the internet? You know what? I'm hungry. I could really go for a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Do you guys think you can write down some instructions and teach me how to make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich?
Yeah.
Then do it.
I knew we were gonna do this. I heard Dad talking to Mom.
Choke yourself on my hand. Sometimes they do what you tell them.
So it says here, sorry, I put the title over here. Josh will be following Jonna and Evan's instructions exactly as written. So Jonna that's the girl's name. Evan is the little boy. So he'll be following their instructions exactly as written. So he will do exactly what they say.
Dad,
Step 1. Get 2 pieces of bread out. Got 'em. Get a butter knife and get some PB. Take 1 piece of bread, spread it around with the butter knife.
No, Dad, with the peanut butter.
I'm just doing what it says. It says take 1 piece of bread, spread it around with the butter knife.
So here, a butter knife. That's just a regular knife like this. It's not super sharp. It's not a steak knife, basically. It's just a regular knife you'd use for cutting food, but it's not a super sharp knife.
Hold on.
Get some jelly, rub it on the other half of the bread.
No, Dad, open the jelly.
Well, it doesn't say to do that. Put the breads together on top of each other. Take a big bite. This doesn't taste like a peanut butter jelly sandwich. Fail.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Sorry, I had to make it extremely specific.
Oh, good. I'm starving. Take 2 pieces of white bread out of the bag. Take the lid off the jar of peanut butter. Get a butter knife and stick it inside of the peanut butter jar. With the knife, scoop a bit of peanut butter out of the...
That means like a lot.
A bit means a lot?
In my world.
Spread your scoop of peanut butter onto 1 of your pieces of bread with the knife. Alright? There we go.
So in reality, a bit of something is just a little. And often we'll even say a little bit. Just means a small amount.
My world.
Spread your scoop of peanut butter onto 1 of your pieces of bread with the knife.
So she's a little frustrated.
There we go.
You're doing better than before, though.
Open the jelly jar. Squeeze it onto the other piece of bread.
No.
Done. Get 2 pieces bread. Get some peanut butter. Take the peanut butter knife. Open the peanut butter. Put the knife in the PB. Get some jelly. Open the jelly.
No.
Squirt the jelly onto the bread. Take the butter knife with the peanut butter on it. Wipe it all over the piece of bread that's blank. Take the butter knife. Rub the jelly all over the piece of bread.
Oh, he's doing better. Oh.
That's all over. Put the 2 pieces on top of each other.
This is how I meant.
Take 2 pieces of white bread out of the bag. Take the lid off the jar of peanut butter. Get a butter knife and stick it inside of the peanut butter jar. With the knife, scoop some of the peanut butter out of the inside of the jar. Spread your scoop of peanut butter onto one of your pieces of bread with a knife.
No.
Squeeze some jelly onto the other piece of bread. Spread the jelly on the bread with the butter knife. Put your 2 pieces of bread, peanut butter and jelly sides together. Done. Get 2 pieces of bread. Get some peanut butter. Get some jelly. Open the peanut butter. Get a butter knife. Put the butter knife in the peanut butter. Take the butter knife out of the peanut butter.
You did it wrong. No.
Take 1 piece of bread and take the butter knife that has the peanut butter on it and spread it all over the top of the piece of bread.
Dad,
That's the top.
I mean the sides.
Squirt some on another piece of bread. Take the butter knife, rub it all over the top of the piece of bread.
I quit. You're not making any sense. Zari ruined it on purpose. He knows how to make one. I know, Evan. It's the joke. It's the game that we're playing. Oh.
Do you know how to eat a piece of bread? You want to take your sandwich with you?
Oh, this is really good.
It looks like a yummy sandwich. I'm glad I made that for you.
Can I not save one with it?
Yeah, go take that one to mommy.
Okay. I edited a bit.
Take 2 pieces of white bread. Take the lid off the jar of peanut butter. Get a butter knife and stick it inside of the peanut butter jar. With the knife, scoop some of the peanut butter out of the inside of the jar. Spread your scoop of peanut butter onto the face of one of your pieces of bread with the knife. Squeeze some jelly onto the other piece of bread. Spread the jelly on the bread with the butter knife. Put your 2 pieces of bread, peanut butter and jelly sides together. Done.
Now eat it.
Not the best,
Well, you made it.
but
so.
I think it qualifies. That's a win.
Woohoo!
Well, Evan and Jonah, did that go as you expected?
Yes. I expected to win.
Well, you sort of won. But really, I feel like we were all losers. Did you guys have fun at all?
Yeah.
There were at least a few points where it seemed like Evan was kind of having fun.
He's like,
If there is something you would like to see us attempt in a similar fashion where the kids have to give me instructions, leave a comment.
like and subscribe. I don't know, nothing.
Well, I had fun making this. And you know who else I think would have fun making this? My friends the Ballinger family and the AB family. I challenge you to make this challenge video. Challengeception. Bam!
Alright, so that is the peanut butter and jelly challenge. And so you can see they took something very simple, but by making sure that they had clear, specific instructions, actually it's not quite so easy. Are you guys familiar with Dairy Queen? Dairy Queen, or they've shortened it a lot of times now just to the initials, DQ. This is the one in Itaewon. You can see the DQ logo up here, and it says DQ Grill and Chill. And they have a specialty item there called a banana split, which is three, it's not scoops, but three things of ice cream. It's soft serve ice cream, so it's not a scoop, but three things of ice cream with chocolate, pineapple, and I believe that's strawberry sauce. And then there's bananas and whipped cream. And this is a banana split because the banana is cut down the middle. It's split. And so I went there and I ordered a banana split thinking that I would get something that looked sort of like this. And this is what I got. So this was the expectation. This was the reality. A little disappointing. And at first, actually, I couldn't even find any banana. I thought they had forgotten the banana in the banana split. It turned out there were a couple of small pieces of banana underneath, but it was still very different from this one where there's a whole banana. It's cut in half. You can see the open middle part there, but it's cut in half and then half on each side of the ice cream. So that reminded me of another video where it's a family trying to do one of these exact instructions challenges, making banana splits. So that one is a mom and her two kids making banana splits. And so I will upload that video for you. You can watch it. It's a little bit long, so you might want to skip little parts of it. But again, it's similar to this, where the idea is that you, it teaches you how to give clear, specific instructions. Okay, some of you also commented, several of you commented, that you would have liked it, that it would have been a lot better if Songbei had actually made ramen, if he had actually cooked it. And I totally agree with that. That was one of my main feelings about that video, that was something that was missing. So I want to show you another video of somebody who does actually make ramen. Now this one is not for a class. It's not done as a classroom presentation, but it is a very detailed demonstration of how to make ramen.
Let's make toppings first. I'm gonna start with pork. Now let's make the sauce for the pork and boiled eggs. Get the green part of the green onion, a few slices of ginger, and crush the garlic. Add sake, mirin, soy sauce, sugar, salt in a pot, and heat it up on low heat. Turn off the burner before it boils. Now, wrap the pork with a paper towel and put everything in a Ziploc bag. Then, get rid of the air inside the bag. Using a bowl of water makes this process easy. Then place it in a rice cooker and add boiled water. press the keep warm button and it'll be done cooking in about 3 to 4 hours. Then keep it in the fridge for half a day. Now let's make half-boiled eggs. Making a tiny hole at the bottom of the eggs prevents it from cracking. Prepare the soup stock like this. Next, add a green onion, ginger slices, chicken bones and wings in boiled water, and boil them for a minute to get rid of the smell. Place them in cold water and chop the bones into chunks. Put the bones and chicken wings in a pot and cook it on very low heat for an hour. Let's make clam soup at the same time. Before cooking the clams, get rid of sand in the clams by adding 3% salt water and wait for half a day. Boil the clams with sake and kondu for 30 minutes on low heat. Skim off scum while boiling. Cut off the skin of chicken and fry it on low heat until it becomes crispy. I'll use chicken order for the soup and chicken skin for the topping later. Let's make another topping. This time I'll use the white part of green onion. Cut off the core and slice it thinly. Soak it in water for 5 minutes. Now let's blend all the soup. The blend ratio is completely up to you. For example, if you want the soup to be a little more fishy, then add more bonito stock. You can see my ratio in the description box, but you can adjust however you want and make your own soup. When the soup is done, scorch the pork slices. Cut the egg in half. Pour soup in the bowl. Finally, boil the noodle. Strain it well. And finish.
This is so good. Here's some. It was worth it.
So his cats are super interested in what he's doing and how he made that. If you're interested, this is another video with the Darnett family, and it's them doing another exact instructions challenge on making ramen.
Right.
You heard the man. What's up, the internet? We are back. It has been too long since we've done an exact instructions challenge, and a few weeks ago we got an awesome package from Nick and Anna Stafford. They were in Taiwan. Dried noodles instructions. This is more involved than I thought. And they sent us an exact instructions challenge, which we're going to do, but before that, I want to do my own exact instructions challenge with these kids.
Which I am Josh Darnett.
Which he is Josh Darnett.
Little fart, and my son Evan is the best guy in the world. And also, you should follow him in Unjalo. But you should follow the rock star, my son Evan.
Welcome to the exact instructions challenge, Ramen Noodles edition. Alright guys, you know the drill. I need you to write down instructions. Tell me everything I need to know. Tell me everything I need to know on how to make these noodles. Well, out of my... Okay, let's do that. So the other day, Evan was telling me he was going to make noodles himself. And I said, do you know how to do it? And he goes, yeah. And I said, do you think you could do an exact instructions challenge? And he said, yeah, but not for a video. I proved him wrong because here we are.
4 hours later, it took them that long to come up with the instructions here.
So this time I'm sure I safety-proofed every step.
You safety-proofed every step? That was quick, by the way.
Yeah, because
It says first, open the ramen. Okay. Second, get a bowl. Put the ramen into the bowl. Get some hot water. Pour the hot water into the bowl. Grab a plate. Put the plate over the bowl. and then wait. See you in a bit.
I told you I'm not sure.
You're ready with round 2 before John is ready with round 1?
Yeah.
Get some ramen. Carefully open the ramen.
There.
Get a bowl. Put all of the ramen into the bowl. Get some hot water. Carefully pour it into the bowl. Put a plate carefully over the bowl and wait. It's fantastic. It's going to be the best ramen I've ever had. I guarantee it.
Done! I'm ready.
Bring it to me.
I got 10 steps, so there's no way I can fail.
Pour about a cup of clean water into the water heater thingy majig. Done. Switch the water.
Thingy majig, that's a thing where you don't know the exact name of it. If you can't remember the name, thingamajig, thingamabob, doohickey, all of those work there.
10 steps, so there's no way I can fail.
Pour about a cup of clean water into the water heater thingy majig. Done. Switch the water heater on so that it heats up. Take a ramen packet and Pokemon bowl. Alright. Open the ramen packet and pour the ramen noodles into the bowl.
I'm being specific.
Crush up the ramen noodles in the bowl with a fork.
God.
Pour in the hot water from the water heater into the bowl with the ramen until the water fills up a little more than half of the bowl. Take the ramen flavor packet and carefully open it. Pour the powder into the bowl with the ramen noodles and hot water. Mix it all with a fork in the bowl until the flavor is evenly distributed. Eat.
I'd say it was pretty close.
You would serve this in your restaurant?
Not in a restaurant, but I mean, I wouldn't choose you as a cook.
Get some ramen. Get a bowl. Very carefully open the ramen. Do not put the plastic into the bowl. Only put all of the ramen into the bowl. That's pretty exact. Get enough hot water to fill the bowl. This is enough hot water to fill the bowl. Get a plate and fastly put the plate on top of the bowl.
Dad, did you not hear pour the water into the bowl?
It doesn't say pour the water into the bowl. It just says get enough water to fill the bowl. But it doesn't tell me to fill it.
I said get enough water to fill the bowl.
Right. This is enough water to fill the bowl.
I know, and
I got it.
I know I meant to put it in the...
Did you? How about instead of you making your ramen, we all follow these instructions and we make Nick and Anna's ramen. We each get our own noodles.
Hey, I got a note.
You got a note? It says dried noodles don't cook. See instructions. Step 1. With your thumb and pointer finger on your right hand, grab the top of the package on the front below the seal.
Okay, so in this, they go on, they're actually making like the dried ramen snack. I'll upload this video for you if you want to watch the rest of it, but I'm not going to show the rest of it in today's lecture class. So, the next thing we need to do is this. When you're doing your videos, remember, keep your visual aids large, clear, and visible. Just like Songbei, keep them up off the table. Some things, most of the things he did pretty well with, but there were a few, like the garlic, the kimchi, we couldn't really see. The onions, both types were already cut up, so it was hard to tell exactly what he was talking about. This is one of the news programs on CNN, and the way it's written, if you just read across, it's the with Situation Wolf Room Blitzer. And there's a lot of memes with this old woman here trying to read them. Obviously, or maybe not obviously, because if you just read it, that's what it looks like. But it's actually the Situation Room with Wolf Blitzer is what it's supposed to be. But the graphic design is a little confusing. Okay? Or something like this. You read one page at a time, because for you, time doesn't can for. I'm there, all the mean you take me granted. And again, the woman reading it, because for you, time doesn't can for. I'm here, all the mean you take me granted. But if you read it across, because I'm here for you all the time, doesn't mean you can take me for granted. Which makes sense. But again, because they wrote across 2 pages, instead of just down a page and down the next page, it's hard to read. So think about your visual design. Also, remember to actually use the product. Songbei had everything on the table. He didn't actually cook it. He didn't actually do that. Okay. Lucy, when she was doing the Vitamin she actually used the product, actually tasted it. A little too much, because she got drunk. Simon actually jumped up and down on the trampoline. Okay, that's how they sell things on home shopping channels. Pay attention to your body language. Songbei looked kind of like the Wonder Girls here, doing his thing. Okay. Also, he had some trouble with keeping his hands above his waist. Same with Simon and the trampoline. The positioning was not real good. So remember, this is not soccer. Do not put your hands in the free kick position. Also, pay attention to your pronunciation and enunciation. Speak clearly, pronounce things correctly. Okay? Remember the red leather, yellow leather, red leather, yellow leather, red leather, yellow leather, red leather, yellow leather. Okay, so practice, prepare, have a great weekend, and I will see you on videos on Monday. And I believe Monday we will do a Zoom class, because we need to start talking a little bit about your final presentations. All right, guys, have a great weekend. I'll see you Monday.